positive vibes, love and positivity. And I want to start by thanking our new and our returning subscribers. We really appreciate you. We really thank you. And we always pray for you guys. Every day we pray for you. That may the Lord bless you, may the Lord enlarge you, may the Lord protect you and shield you together with your family. We don't take it for granted, guys, that you take your time and watch our content. Today, I want to go all the way, guys, to an island called Trinidad and Tobago. And specifically, I want us to go through Trinidad with Dee Mwango. Dee Mwango was going through the town of St. James, if I'm not wrong. And she was going through this town, and I noted some things that were very, very similar to Jamaica. I noted that the streets are very clean and well maintained. That is Trinidad for you. Very well maintained roads and very clean. The environment is very clean. And actually, Dee Mwango commented about the cleanliness in Trinidad, St. James. And I also noted that the people of Trinidad are very, very welcoming. They are very ready to talk to strangers and actually give history about themselves. And we saw it is the same thing in Jamaica. People are very ready to welcome the strangers and actually talk to them and tell them about their country, which I really noted in Trinidad. The other thing that I noted is the Trinidad people have their own language, just like the Jamaicans have patois. And I realized that these people, they understand the language of Rastafarians, because as Dee Mwango was walking around the streets of St. James, she encountered some Rastafarian people and she could speak to them, and they were very welcoming, they were very ready to talk to her, and I noted that just like Jamaica, there are Rastafarians even in Trinidad. And I came to realize that the culture of these people are so similar. And these islands, it's like this, they have the same characteristics according to what I saw with Dee Mwango. And as she was walking along the streets of St. James, I could see the buildings are very beautiful. The city is so beautiful, and the people are beautiful outside and beautiful inside. And she encountered some old men who are ready to talk to her, who are ready to speak to her, who are ready to give her the history she wanted to hear. And there is this specifically old man who was called Bobo. And I was amazed at the story he gave. He said he was 74-year-old, living with HIV positive, and I found the guy was so positive because he was saying that if you want to live long, do not spread this disease to others. And I found that that man was so selfless. He has stayed with that disease, according to him, for more than 10 years. And I was so happy that he is so considerate. He has already accepted it. And he's living with the condition, because living with the HIV does not mean, just like Dee Mwango said, then you just accept the situation and you become positive and live a good life, like this gentleman who has lived 74 years and lived with a disease for more than 10 years. And he was so happy, so jovial, so ready to share, so open. And I really got happy with the people from Trinidad. Just like we have actually loved the people of Jamaica, I found that the people of Trinidad are so great, just like the people of Jamaica. The other lesson I learned from Dee Mwango, and I think this is why the Jamaicans really love this lady, and wherever she goes, she gets friends. We have seen all where Dee Mwango goes, there are people to host her. There are people to take her out. Why? One lesson I've learned as a traveler is that Dee Mwango will not keep quiet. She would not meet with the people and just keep quiet. She would say hi to them, share with them, be ready to know about their culture, be ready to know about their country. And that is epic. That is the characteristic I've seen with Dee Mwango. She would speak to the old and even to the young. And actually, most of the people she has been encountering are actually old people, especially in Trinidad. And I could see that these men were ready to share with her, they were ready to talk to her, they were ready to open up to her. The characteristic that has been, or rather, the characteristic that Dee Mwango has pulls a lot of people to her. Like this old man, Bobo, she just found him seated somewhere alone and she was concerned. Why is this man alone? Why is he seated alone? What is happening? She's ready to know what is happening in the ground. What is happening to the people in that particular country. And she went to this man and she was so ready to listen to this guy who was so ready to open up and tell this young woman he has never met about himself. Meaning that this old man, Bobo, actually developed trust in Dee Mwango because of the way she approached him, she introduced herself, and she was concerned about what is happening to him and why he was alone. This is the type of characteristic that puts Dee Mwango up there irrespective of what the haters say. The other thing that I have found with Dee Mwango, as she's moving along the streets, she's ready even to help the people she finds are wrong. She's ready to speak to them, know what is happening on the ground, and actually where it needs support, she's ready to support. And I think that is why she has pulled a lot of people to her. That is why people love her. She is also ready to associate with the people on the ground, to be one of them, to mingle, to take their culture and embrace without criticism. She's ready to embrace the way of life of those people. She's ready to accept the culture of those people. She's ready to accept the type of food those people eat. And that was so great from her. Actually, I could see that wherever she was going along the streets, she could actually say, "Wagwan, hi, how are you?" And she could actually make these people feel free to talk to her. Feel that it's like they have met her for very many years. And that is the kind of character that one should have, especially when you are traveling from one country to the other and you are actually encountering people you don't know. And that is why this guy who was taking her out is ready to open up and even to tell her the problems that are there in their country. I remember at one point, Dee Mwango was asking herself, did I come to this country? Because she was talking about the gang groups in Trinidad. And actually we saw Christmas trees talking with some of them. And actually that is the other part of Trinidad that I wanted to talk about. I was concerned about this gang. Because here in Kenya, there is a time we had some young people grouping into a gang. There was this gang that was calling itself Mogeke, and there was another gang that was calling itself Talban. And these two groups, they were actually in Kenya harassing people. But in Trinidad, I found that the gangs that are there are actually saying they are actually protecting the kids and protecting the people. And I saw that Christmas trees is trying to bring peace in Trinidad, which I really recommend. He's a great man. And actually for him to sacrifice and meet this gang, it's not easy. It is a sacrifice. And I therefore appreciated these YouTubers that are moving around and bringing peace and actually bringing reconciliation to the different groups that are there in that round. Because I was also concerned as a parent, It's not good for the children who are growing up to see people holding guns, and even if they are protecting them, it's a bit concerning. Because these children will grow up knowing that this is the way of life. And therefore, our dear brothers and sisters, it is important to embrace one another, we love one another, we accept one another, because let me tell you, people will never be alike. No two people are alike. We have our own strength and our own weaknesses. And if we embrace each other with our weaknesses and our strong points, we will live in peace. And therefore, I got concerned to see the two groups, and it's like Christmas trees was being told that there is a side that this group cannot go, and there is a side the other group cannot go. And this is what was happening in Kenya during the crashes. These two groups, there is a side one group could not go, and there is a side the other group could not go. In other words, they have demarcated the town. Actually, they were in the slums in Kenya. And people could not cross to go to the other side, which is very, very sad, especially when it is coming from people who have lived together, who have been born together, who are living in the same country. And therefore, when I saw this in Trinidad, I actually recalled in Kenya, we had such a scenario. People grouping themselves and actually prohibiting each other from going to a certain place or a certain region. It is quite sad, and I would ask our brothers and sisters in Trinidad, it's good to love one another. It's good to embrace one another. It's good to accept our weaknesses and our strength. And if there is something that they are fighting about, because I could see in the comment section, people commenting about what they are fighting about, and I don't want to say it here, it is good to sit down and agree on how you're going to share whatever business you have. Instead of fighting each other, and your children will grow up seeing people holding guns, people fighting each other, people killing each other. It's not good. So it is very, very important to embrace one another. But there is something I want to recommend them, the guns for. I saw that one of the people, I don't know whether he was killed or he died naturally, one of the people from one of the areas had died. And the other group were actually telling the person who had died to rest in peace. In other words, they were concerned about the person who had died. And the musicians, I saw one of the musicians who was actually taking Christmas trees around the city. And therefore it is good, as musicians, as people who are known, you spread peace through your songs, you spread peace through your art, so that people can embrace one another and live together happily. So that is something I noted in Trinidad, and I also noted that Trinidad is very beautiful, and it is very hidden, because I could see Christmas trees climbing the stairs as they were going from one place to the other with this musician. And I found that they have built stairs because of the way the country is hilly. But it is so beautiful, the landscape is epic, and I could see fruits, just like the fruits we saw in Jamaica. There were watermelon, there were mangoes, there were apples. I saw several fruits. And I also noted that the fruits were in a vehicle and they were being sold. Here in Kenya, we also do the same. We put items in the vehicle and we sell to people. I saw that in Trinidad, and I could actually associate it with Kenya. So we really appreciate these YouTubers that are taking us to the different islands in Caribbean. We love the islands. So far, we have gone to Cayman Island, we have gone to Jamaica, those seated in our rooms. We have also gone to Trinidad, and we are going soon to go to Tobago. We have also gone to Tax Caicos. I hope the spelling is correct. So we are seeing a lot of beauty in the Caribbean islands. We love them, and we are expecting to see a lot in Trinidad. Now, coming from Trinidad, I go back to Jamaica. Guys, there is something that I noted with the men in Jamaica, which I found very, very commendable. Because I have not seen it in Kenya. Maybe the Kenyan people that are watching me can tell me whether this happens in Kenya, but I have not yet seen it in Kenya, whereby men are the ones to go to the markets and do the shopping. In Kingston, in Jamaica, I could see men carrying baskets, going to buy vegetables, going to buy fruits, going to buy items in the market. This is very, very rare in Kenya. We don't have men going to the market. What we have are women who are usually the ones that go to the market. They buy whatever items they want in the market. Like they can buy tomatoes, they can buy potatoes, they can buy vegetables, the fruits. But men don't go to the market in Kenya. So I really commend the men in Jamaica. They are proving to be great men who can actually go to the market, do the shopping for their wives, and bring the items home. That is very commendable. I noted that in Jamaica, which I could actually compare with Kenya, and I could see clearly we don't have that in Kenya. I think because of the interaction between the different races in Jamaica, and also there is the white people who are very liberal when it comes to doing house chores and even going to the market. It's not like this side of the Africa, whereby there are duties for men and there are duties for women. There are duties that men don't do actually. Like here in Kenya, unless the now young generation, the old generation, it was very hard for a man to enter the kitchen and cook. Very, very hard. And I think because our fathers could not do such kind of jobs, going to the kitchen and cook, washing clothes, washing utensils, going to the market to do shopping, those were the duties of a woman. And the woman in Kenya is a woman who do a lot of things. But I think the young people are becoming liberal, and actually they can go to the market, they can actually cook, they can wash utensils. But in our time, some years back, and even our fathers, they could not enter the kitchen, they could not clean clothes, or even clean the house, mop the house. They cannot go to the market. Let me say they cannot, because they are still there. They cannot go to the market. That is the work of the woman. And I don't even know, I'm sorry to say that, I don't know what is the work of men in Kenya, because if you're working, if you're a working lady and a working man, you come from the jobs, both of you, and the woman will just put the hard bag and go to the kitchen and cook and take care of the baby and take care of all the work, while the man is seated on the chair, which is actually very, very oppressing to the women. The woman gets so tired that it becomes very, very hard for her to be happy. So when I saw the Jamaican men going to the market and actually cooking, I've seen a lot of cooking with the Jamaican men. I could see Cora Smith, I saw Kino cooking for Dee Mwango and the rest of the team, and I could see men cooking in Jamaica, which is actually very rare here in Kenya. And even right now, men, very rarely do men go to the kitchen. And I am telling you, I saw men going to the market and purchasing things in the market. It was epic. It was an eye-opener for me. And that is why we are appreciating watching the ways of life of Jamaicans, the way of life of the Trinidadians, the way of life of the Haitians, where African digresses, the way of life of these people, and we compare with us here. There is a lot to learn. There is a lot of differences. There is a lot to inspire us here in Kenya and even in Africa. And therefore, guys, we are learning a lot from you. We are getting to see a lot of beauty in the The way we are looking at YouTubers from your country, you can also look at YouTubers from Kenya, so that they can teach you about the ways of life in Kenya. You see the differences and the similarities. Guys, we are running a lot and we really appreciate. And I think at this juncture, this will be the end of this video. And I say goodbye until next time, and God bless.